Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Hit that like and subscribe button. Once upon a time, there was a fighter by the name of Keith "One-Time" Thurman. This fighter was on the come up. This fighter was brash, loud, boisterous. He wanted to fight everybody. He called everyone out, from Floyd Mayweather to Marcos Maidana. He called everybody out at 147. This career welterweight, Keith Thurman, he used to have that killer instinct. He used to want to do something with his career. He was very active, fighting 3 times a year. But all of that came to an end a year and a half ago when Errol SPence came on the scene. Now, it's funny how things can change overnight when you're offered a chance at a world championship, and the opponent that you have to face in order to get that world championship is Errol SPence Jr., a guy who hadn't even had 20 fights at the time, a guy who we heard about. We heard about his legendary sparring sessions with Floyd Mayweather. We heard about what he did to Adrian Broner in sparring, but he hadn't quite shown us what he was capable of, as he was still fighting bums. He was still fighting the Phil LaGrecos and them dudes, right? But the people still rallied behind Spence because he's been calling out these big names as well. Now, Keith Thurman went ahead and won that WBA championship. Keith Thurman beat Danny Garcia for the WBC championship. In fact, Keith Thurman had 2 tough fights back to back. He fought 2 top 10 opponents back to back, and he beat them both. One in Sean Porter, which was a very close fight. A lot of people had it going either way, but I feel like Keith Thurman did enough to win that fight. And then Danny Garcia, a fight that wasn't entertaining, but a lot of people criticized both fighters for their performance. Nonetheless, it was a win for Keith Thurman, right? So we're presented with the guy who, before, his resume was like really trash. And it's funny that he was criticizing Danny Garcia. We'll make another video for that, though. Keith "One-Time" Thurman used to be an exciting fighter. He used to be a guy that I look forward to watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was always excited to watch Keith Thurman. Then he ran into Luis Collazo, hit him with that body shot. Almost made him take a knee. Almost made him hop in a body bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have got put in that body bag. It would have been a wrap. That would have been going. Keefy? Keefy Poo? I just don't understand how one man is making you freeze and switch up your whole demeanor. Because this ain't Keith Thurman. This ain't the Keith Thurman I remember. This the Keith Thurman that likes to run. And what's his excuse? He's not hungry like Errol SPence. I'm going to keep pushing for this fight. I could care less what you guys say. I want this fight to happen sooner rather than later. Should Keith Thurman get a tune-up fight for his first fight back? Absolutely. Why not? I mean, he did have elbow surgery, right? And there's no controversy behind that. It's a fact that he had elbow surgery because he provided us with pictures of his elbow. Not any x-rays or anything, just pictures, but that's another story. And again, Keith Thurman deserves a tune-up fight. Y'all got to give him the tune-up fight. Just please, give him his tune-up fight. Give him his mandatory fight against Sean Porter, okay? Fine. But you're not going to be off the hook just yet. Because you're in the prime of your career, Keith Thurman. You should be fighting 3 times a year. So for that 3rd fight in 2018, you need to get in the ring with Errol SPence. Let's not talk about making the fight bigger than what it is right now. It's funny because Keith Thurman, if you didn't know any better, you would think that Keith Thurman thinks he's Floyd Mayweather. He thinks he can dictate the terms. He really thinks he's that dude at 147 when he's really not. This is a guy who's afraid to fight tough competition. This is a guy who calls out everybody else but Errol Spence. This is a guy who recently called out Shawn Porter with a bum hand. He called out Danny Garcia, a guy that's pretty much tailor-made for him. And now he's looking at Devin Alexander. Like, you wanna beat him up? You wanna beat him when he's on the come up? That's cool, right? All right. So Keith Thurman fans, how do you condone the open, blatant ducking of Errol Spence? I just don't get it. I don't get how you guys rock with a guy who is saying that another champion in his weight class isn't on his radar, isn't in his plans for the foreseeable future. That sounds like some coward stuff to say, if you ask me. Now, people hate on Errol Spence. I don't know why y'all hate on Errol Spence. He's trying to get he's trying to get these big names in the ring with them. He's trying to get the Danny Garcias, the Shawn Porters, the Keith Thurmans. You know, he's trying to get these guys in the ring with him. They don't want to fight him. These guys, and then they're given an opportunity and a world title, the IBF championship. It's going to be on the line, but you still don't want any smoke with Errol Spence. That doesn't seem right to me. It seems like everybody at 147 is afraid of Errol Spence, because if they weren't, they would fight him. Lamont Peterson finally stepped up. We can't really give him all the credit in the world for stepping up to fight Spence, because Spence wanted to fight him a year and a half ago. You know, the IBF called Lamont Peterson. It was like, hey, Lamont, yo, we got an opportunity for you, B. You could be in this eliminator, this title eliminator, for a chance to fight Kell Brook. All you got to do is fight Errol Spence next. Lamont Peterson looked at his phone. Errol Spence? You talking about the dude who knocking everybody out in the 5 rounds? IBF president like, yeah, Errol Spence, that's the guy. Lamont was like, listen, bro, I'm going out for that WBA belt. And I think I got to go to the dentist, because Danny caught me with a couple of good shots. Click. That was it for Lamont Peterson. He didn't want no smoke with Errol Spence at that time. But now, I don't know if he's in need of money or if he feels he has the game plan to beat Errol Spence. But we see how Lamont Peterson executes his game plans. They don't really work a lot of the time. Now, Keith Thurman, all you got to do is fight Errol Spence. All you got to do, it would be cool if you just said, hey, look, you know, I'm rehabbing my injury. You know, I need a tune-up fight first, okay? I need to take a tune-up fight. You know, I've got to, and he did mention this, I got to fight Shawn Porter because he's my mandatory. But then what you say after that is, you know, after my fight with Shawn Porter, then we can get back into go back to the drawing board and see what we can do about fighting Errol Spence. That's what we can do next. That's what you say, Keith. That's what you say, Keefy Pooh. That's all you got to say. But we know you don't want no smoke because you sounding scared. You looking scared. You shaking in your interviews. You stuttering in your interviews. You know, they're asking you about your accidents. You giving people the wrong information because you've been lying about it. You know, talk about you hurt your knee, but you really hurt your neck, right? In a car accident that happened. And apparently, that car accident that you had, according to Kenny Porter, there was no report of a car accident in the area in which you were talking about. There was no accident in the area in which you reported it to have had happened. So, what's really going on with Keith, man? Keith Thurman is a liar. He's a liar. And he's got all y'all fooled. He ain't got me fooled, though. You know what I'm saying? When the time comes, that O's going to be gone. Talking about you got an O and you ain't afraid to let it go. You afraid to let it go, trust me. You got fear in your heart, son. When you gonna move out of 147? When you gonna go to another division? You gonna be a career welterweight? Yeah, okay. But I mean, that's really all I got to say, man. I mean, why is Keith Thurman not fighting? Why is he not talking about Errol Spence? Why is he giving us the same old tired story about Errol Spence? All you gotta do is say, hey, you know, I'm gonna work on getting better. You know, get my tune-up fight in, take care of my mandatory. Then I want Errol Spence. That's how you take care of it. Beating around the bush. Or sometime in maybe 2019, middle 2019, maybe the end. You know, my elbow holds. Like, shut up, Keith. Stupid, man. We ain't dumb. We know you scared of him, man. We know you and everybody else in the welterweight division is scared of Spence. Call it what it is. If they wasn't afraid of him, they will fight him. He got a belt. He got a name. Don't give me the resume thing, all right? Don't give me the resume thing, because he could have a much better resume had he could get these dudes in a ring with him. And look at what he's doing to people's leftovers. Bundu, easy work. You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook. He did to Kell Brook. He put in that work against Kell Brook. Sean Porter couldn't even do that. Keith Thurman has never even said Kell Brook's name on camera. That's how you know he shook. It's cool, though. It's looking like Errol SPence going to have to go the WBO route, and that's cool. I'm sure Keith Thurman will enjoy that. But until then, let's hope that these guys stop ducking Spence, and he fights more than once or twice in 2018. I'm sick of the inactivity, bro. That's going to kill your career. You need to continue to be active. You need to continue to beat your opponents. You know, you need to continue to beat your opponents in impressive fashion, and you're going to be good. Hitman Boxing. Drop a comment, like the video, subscribe. I'm out.